Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about a few things. We got Spy Family, we got Lycoris Recoil, and we're going to talk about the changes to the trial deck, specifically in the SP slot. Do remember, before I begin, that Spy Family is coming out for English. Lycoris Recoil, we do not have any sort of confirmation on that yet. Spy Family comes out on July 21st, 2023. I was really excited for it. I know my sister's really pumped up for it. But you can see here at the bottom of this trial deck information, you're going to see triple rares. There's 17 of them. And then when Audrey sent me this morning, I was excited because I saw there are 4 types of SP. You get one for Loid, Anya, Yor, and at the same time, all 3 of them together. I do like when all 3 of them are together. It's a really cool image to see. What I didn't notice until a few minutes later was the fact that it said foil stamping design cards. Yes, that means there are no signatures in the trial deck, unfortunately. So if you're looking for that, it's not going to be in there. With the booster box, there are no details yet about SPs being signed, unsigned, all of that good stuff. This is also happening on Lycoris Recoil. Lycoris Recoil is scheduled to come out on June 2nd, 2023. All the way at the bottom, you can see there are 2 SPs. It says foil stamp design card. Same time, again, there is no signatures inside of the trial deck. In the booster box though, plus side for anybody that wanted the booster box, there are going to be SSPs 5 types, Lycoris Recoil rares 5 types, OFR 5 types. But you can see on there the foil stamping sign card information. So yes, there will be sign cards in the booster box. This first started with Heaven Burns Red. You can see this right here. The booster box had 8 overframe rare and 47 special rares. So yes, you had a ton of sign cards. You wanted sign cards from the booster box? There you go. You got 47 of them. Inside of the trial deck, however, there were no sign cards. There was only 6 special rares and they were all foil stamped. There were also triple rares in there. We got OFRs. And the pricing on these SPs were not the greatest, right? They were still pretty strong. I mean, you can see that 29,800 on there. It's not like these things are awful, but at the same time, when we think back on trial deck, when you think of pretty SPs with their signatures on it being really expensive, you now have cases where we're going to see these foil stamping, and you're gonna have to ask yourself, how are these going to do? If you were in, let's say, the investment land, I know, again, people collect, people play with, people invest in this stuff. One of the things that investors take a look at is, let me just see how much these SPs are costing and if it's worth it, if it's over the amount that I pay for an actual case. Can I turn around, flip it, and make profit? So you're gonna have to ask yourself some challenging questions. Here were the OFRs inside of that trial deck. They are really nice looking. I do like this Seraphim Code one. At the same time, does that make you enough money if you were looking at that aspect of Weiss Schwarz? First up, we have Saikano Megumi SP. Remember, when this came out for English, there were no signatures because of the whole, what we perceive as the Aniplex problem. And you can see here on TCG Player, it is 8701. We don't even have to figure out how much you would pay for it because you have this example right on TCG Player. The Toru on the left did not actually have the voice actor signature on there. You can see that. So how much would you have paid for this card if there was no signature on there at all? Some people say exactly the same amount. How about this Roxy on the right? $1,300. Are you willing to pay for that if it was no signature? Chainsaw Man, which is scheduled to be coming out for both Japan and English side. You're going to take a look at this. How much would you pay for these trial deck SPs with or without signatures? I know some people wouldn't pay a lot because the background doesn't look all the greatest, but that said, how much would you pay for no signatures? And lastly, this lovely Albedo. Albedo's not my favorite, so I'm not going to chase Albedo cards. But you can see here, this is one that people are going to be going after. The reprint is now out there. So you're going to see this pop up a lot more. How much would you pay for this if no signature existed on this card? Is it the same amount or lower or higher? I'm going to leave you right there. So hopefully you think about what's going to happen in the market because of this. Now you have a bunch of IPs that are coming out, pretty strong ones that may or may not actually have signatures on there. Does that change your thought on how much you are going to buy? Are these going to do just as well because people that aren't from the Weiss Schwarz community, they love this IP, are just going to buy it regardless of the signatures or not? A lot to think about when you come up to pre-order these things. Again, if you need me, find me here. All the stuff is in the description. As always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your